And as part of your electric co-op, you're also part of the solution. You can help by making your home more energy efficient. Together, we have the power to make a difference.
This message brought to you by Cumberland Electric Membership Corporation.
Hi, this is Jonathan Wilburn. You're listening to the best in Southern gospel, country gospel, and bluegrass gospel on WSGI AM 1100 Springfield, God's Informer.
There were times I've been broken, and times I broke myself. There've been times I've been empty, and I wouldn't ask for help. Looking back,
one street over there's a life I could have known, one beyond my wildest dreams. Maybe that road could have carried me to streets of gold. Things aren't always as they seem. Looking back on all the chances that I missed, some I held, some slipped away. One street over where my memories exist, I wondered what would change, I really couldn't say. In this life there's nothing certain, except the curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today. Silly games of second guessing, I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn. Because one street over there's a life I could have known, that would have kept me from the one I had today.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Robertson County. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and this is You Know It, one street over. What's happening one street over from where you living? I'm still kind of in summer mode. I'm still in the T-shirts, not really getting up as early as during school, I get up 4 a.m. I didn't roll out. It was hard for me to get up. I know. Kaleb Stratton's here. I called him. I'm trying to kind of play catch up because I missed a lot of my typical interviews. Yeah. And I said, I feel like there's things coming up that we really need to touch on because I think you'll be in. I was looking at the calendar. I don't know if you'll be in before the Velvet Hunt or not. That's why I messaged you. And I
think it's the week of.
It's that week. And so it's kind of like you hate to do it that week and say, oh, by the way, this is happening. And so I said, why don't you just come on in and let's just catch up. And we've got Brian and Catherine are coming in from United Way later. And then Lisa Fort will be in tomorrow from Redeem Her Now. So we're just kind of getting our rhythm back going. Dr. Weeks came in with Miss Dickerson and Miss Williams. So we had like a little back to school thing on Tuesday. Had a last visit with Matt Driscoll before the school year starts yesterday. So we're just kind of getting our gears going, because we have our routines even here on One Street Over. And a programming note, for some reason, I am unable to connect to my Facebook page. So if you follow me, you're not getting an alert saying I'm going live. That's why we put it up live on WSGI and on my Facebook page. So we'll try to figure out I was gone for a little over 2 weeks, so things just happen.
Technology changes while you're gone. Overnight.
And so I can't make a connection. So what we're doing is we're sharing it through the WSGI page. So please just let people know that yes, we're on, and we've got our big, we've got the terrestrial signal that people hear us on regular radio. People still, do you listen to regular radio anymore?
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
But just with podcasts and everything now, I mean,
yeah, no, it's
I listen to a
weird.
lot of podcasts or show. I mean, I do listen to Sirius a lot.
Yeah.
Can I say that here?
Yeah, but that's not regular radio.
I know. But,
That's
because
satellite radio.
that's they have the NASCAR shows on there. I listen to a lot of NASCAR
okay.
stuff. So
All right.
NASCAR's not on regular radio. So.
Yeah, so when it comes
Or
to
talk radio isn't on
terrestrial, and I mean it's pretty much, and it's fascinating to me, and we talk a lot about this because again I've grown up in this industry. I've been in radio since 1980, y'all. So I mean I
listen to you on 105.9 growing up all the time.
Thank you on the rock, but and it's still, and I mean those things are still out there. But the kiddos, when I talk to my kids, when I've seen my kids on Tuesday, we'll talk a lot about the history of broadcasting and those kinds of things. And I'll ask them, how many of you have listened to a radio?
Yeah.
And I will be hard pressed to sometimes none.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're looking at, and everybody's like, well, then that means the death of radio. Never, because you can't let these signals go away, because if something, terrible were to happen, that's our only way to communicate. So the government will not let terrestrial radio go away, because it is could be our only means of communications if we were to ever come under a real, massive attack. But yeah, those are the kinds of things you don't want to think about. But it's just I had friends that were engineers in radio that were, after they kind of retired, they were kind of still connected with the government because they wanted to help maintain those airways. So it's just fascinating to me, but I say all that to say we're one less social media source, because we like to push this out as much as we can to make sure you see it. But we'll try to fix that, because we lose a bigger piece of our social media audience, because I've got more followers than the radio station. Yeah. So follow the radio station. There you go. That's what Ilyu wants me. He's like, push the radio station. Yeah. I'm like, we need them both, Ilyu. So anyway,
I will say a lot of I won't say older, I guess, but a lot of the people I go to church with, I was like, I was listening to the radio this morning and heard you on there, So they still listen on the radio.
That's just it. They're still
but it's definitely a different generation.
It's definitely. But nonetheless, so share this. We say all that to say that for the younger generation, we need you to share the radio station social media page, and it's always archived on YouTube. So we've got the YouTube source as well. So, and it's one of those things too, we're worldwide. When I was down in Mexico, I can pull up WSGI and listen
right on the
world,
internet,
because it's worldwide via the internet. The interwebs, some of my old my old friends want to say. So Kaleb Stratton's here. He is, let's see if I can remember what you are. You're the district sergeant.
That's right. You've had it right the last few months,
Even though I was on vacation, I didn't forget your title. District Sergeant for Tennessee Wildlife Resource, and you're coming up on the end of the boating season. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Has it been a relatively safe one?
Yeah,
or have had some terrible.
Knock on this fake wood. It's so far it hasn't been bad.
Good.
It hasn't been bad. We've had a few minor things, and but nothing serious.
Yeah. Well, we had didn't we have a drowning like early on in the season? I mean, you're going to have drownings.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I mean, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. I worked one back in like March or something.
Yeah, I think we had one early on.
That was a kayak one.
Yeah, and it was an older gentleman.
Yeah,
wasn't it? Did he have a heart event or something?
Maybe I've got
nobody really knows on that one.
It's ready to look at. I'm sure. I haven't read the autopsy report yet. I've got to finalize that one. So
yeah, but that's one of those, and we talked a lot about the kayaks because there was a tragic accident either last year or the year before where somebody ran over a kayak because they couldn't see them.
That was she was a teacher in Rutherford County, I believe it was.
Wow.
And that one, I don't want to say what's going on because I can't remember, but it's been in court quite a bit, and I can't remember exactly.
Has it been a couple of years now?
It was almost 3 years ago now.
Really?
Yeah.
And so we've talked a lot about kayaks because I'm somebody that I would, now that I've got all these new, now that I'm bionic, I've got all, everything moves and works now. I would love to get a kayak. I think it just sounds like great exercise, and I would love to get a kayak. But where do you go to use it?
Right.
And if you're out on the lake and there's boats around, they can't see you. If you're not you've got to kind of stay along the edges, right?
Yeah, you don't have to, but that's what we try to tell people to do.
Yeah.
When you're out there in the middle of the lake, it's just people are crazy.
Well, and they might not see you. And that's one of the things we were talking about. One of the best, I think, investments would be one of those bicycle flags that you put up on your kayak where you're seen above your profile.
Right. I try to tell people all the time, just the brightest colors possible, not black or blue or green, just, yellow, pink, red, orange, something bright. The kayak color, your life jacket color, the flag sticking up's a good idea. Just anything to be seen as most as possible.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's one of the things. And here at the end of the season, I had some of my kiddos were out playing in the creek yesterday. Everybody's wanting to get that last little feel before, we kind of get back into the school routine. And so I think you're going to have like an influx really over the next few weeks of people trying to get that last blast in, don't you think?
Yeah, I think so. I know that I was just looking online. They had a lot of cancellations on the Red River this weekend at different venues for floating it, but the high of Friday is only 81, lows in the low 60s this weekend, so it's going to be cool this weekend. Yeah. That's praise Jesus. I'm ready for it. That's been so hot.
So hot, yeah.
But yeah, like Friday the high's 81, Saturday it's 83, 84, so it's going to be a little cooler this weekend.
Well,
so
but that's
already scared people off the water though. I mean, because people been canceling like crazy on their stuff. So.
Really?
And I just saw that on Facebook.
That's perfect floating weather.
Oh, to me it is, yeah.
Because the water's going to be nice and toasty warm because it's been heating up all summer, and then the air is not going to be so blazing hot.
People, and I'm people too. We're all people. We're weird. Like you go to the lake and a little storm moves in or a shower moves in, everybody gets scared and goes home. And it's like, well, you came to the lake to get wet, so why are you worried about some rain?
I get concerned with lightning.
Yeah, well, even
lightning scares me.
There could be
pieces.
no lightning out there and just rain. Just rain, and people will flip out and go home.
Oh, now I'll play in the rain. I love getting out. One of my favorite things to do is to work in my yard in a nice summer rain.
Yeah.
Because I love it.
I know.
I love it. That's my favorite time to work out in the yard. I can get more done during a summer rain as long as it's not lightning. I'm terrified of lightning. And because I just it will kill you. There was a video I put up of our Vivio family reunion up in Michigan before we went to Mexico for our mission trip. We were up there for a few days, and a storm came in the middle of that reunion, and we're all standing under these little pop-up tents, holding on to metal rods, trying to keep the tents from blowing away. And I knew lightning was popping all over. And I had my son who has one of those lightning map things because of baseball.
Right.
And I said, will you please take my location and send me a lightning strike map? And when I looked at it, I'm like, well, the Lord just saved the Vivio family because it was popping all around us. And it would have taken out a big bunch of us because we were all right there in the middle of it. But nonetheless, be careful out there as you wrap up the boating season. And be nice to our wildlife resource officers because they are the real police, y'all. That's one of the things. I think that's probably one of the biggest revelations I've had since you and I became friends is that you can arrest people.
Yeah, it's there was this one guy one time on the lake. It's been years ago, and my buddy Brad, he was arresting him, and we were all there just whatever helping him out. And the guy was like, "What are we doing?" Brad's like, well, we're going to jail. He's like, real jail? It's like, yes, real jail. And he's like, you're wearing real handcuffs. You're about to really get into that police car, and you're really about to go to jail. Oh, and the guy just never clicked with him until we pull into Metro booking, and he's like, I didn't know he was going to real jail. Like, where do you think you're going? Like,
well, but it's like that's the thought. It's that. Okay, but you're a park agent,
right?
Or something. It's
yeah.
like, no, I am the law enforcement.
That's all right.
And it says it right there on your shirt.
I like that good element of surprise. That's okay. It's
hysterical though. So we're going to real jail. That's funny. Well, because you can be found guilty of driving under the influence in a boat.
Oh yeah.
And what is the specifics on that as far as
it's the same as driving under the influence in a vehicle now.
Yeah.
And they all coincide with each other too now.
Right.
So,
But now youngins can go out there and run boats, though, right? Is there an age limit on who can actually drive a boat?
There are a ton of. You got to be 16 to operate a jet ski.
Okay.
But you can get your boater's license at 12 and go out there and drive a boat.
So if you pull up to a boat and there's a 10-year-old piloting the boat, we got a problem.
By themselves, yeah.
What if dad's standing there and he?
Yeah, because you get a lot of that, driving on the lap or sitting in the driver's seat, and then they're
and that's
helping
okay.
and stuff like that. Yeah, we don't.
That's fine.
We don't worry about that really.
Well, I just you know who Nate Bargatze is.
Oh yeah. His old hickory skit.
So funny. And he talks about his sister getting a boat and he apparently hates boating because he has a line that he says
smart.
something about. And he says he has a line in there. He goes, you get out there and it's just like I can't remember exactly what he says. Basically that it's just crazy. There's no laws. He says everybody's either drunk or 10 that's driving a boat. And I thought, you're not completely wrong.
He's
there,
not
brother.
wrong. Yeah,
Not completely wrong there, brother. But anyway,
yeah. Well, the only thing is there are laws, but people just don't know them.
That's just it. And again, wildlife resources, they are the real police, y'all. And they will take you to real jail if you break the laws on the water. So don't get crazy here in the last weeks of summer. We're going to have we'll be up on top of Labor Day's what, in a couple of weeks? When is Labor Day? I don't even know.
Oh, it's still a month. It's a month away.
Is it a month away still?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's September 1st.
Okay. I lose track of everything. So we're still a month away. So we've got, one more month of summer fun on the lake. And again, that's if the weather holds and everybody, gets out there and does their thing. But now you said something about people who were scheduled to float and what did you mean by that? Are there?
Oh, well, I was looking on social media just at the different, the deliveries we have that float the Red River. So the kayaks and the tanking and all that stuff where people float, and they were just posting on their media pages that they've had a lot of cancellations this week, for this weekend.
Okay. Tanking.
Yeah.
Okay, explain that to me.
Well,
I saw that.
Well, I didn't want to promote too much stuff outside of your ads or anything, but we have nothing to do with it.
But that's fine. I don't have anything. I'm curious about that.
It looks miserable to me.
Sitting in a hot tank, I don't. That does.
I guess
not
they
look
say
like
the
a fun
water
time.
keeps it cold though, because the water's cold, so it keeps the bottom of it cold and it doesn't get hot. That's what I've been told, but it still seems miserable to me. But a lot of people have done it and they love it. They love it.
It cracks me up.
But yeah, it's just
they
went
start
about 3 years ago.
because I saw that on social media for the first time this year, and I'm like, what in the world?
It's the Bell Witch. It's called Bell Witch Tanking the Red. Something.
It's something, but it comes out of Adams.
Yeah, it's the Bell Witch people that do it.
They're doing it. Yeah. Okay, interesting.
And you put in right there at the Keysburg Bridge Road, I believe, and go down to our boat ramp there at Red River Canoe and
How
take
far
it.
is that?
I don't know. I want to say it's a mile or so. It's not very long.
So it's just like a little scenic whatever, I
you
guess.
just get in there and float. They got chairs sitting in there, and you just sit in there. And it's a big. All they do is go to Tractor Supply and buy those big cattle watering trough things. You know, it's a big circle galvanized metal thing, and
it's a hoot. More power to them.
Yeah.
They're making a living.
But hey, and when you think about it, at that point it's considered a vessel. A vessel isn't a name brand boat. It's whatever if you're on a piece of plywood floating down the river, that's a vessel.
So what does that? So there's regulations.
Regulations, life jacket regulations and everything else. So
okay, so they got to have the life jackets and all.
Any means of conveyance. So
okay. Interesting.
The only thing, and I think I've said this, and it's not us, it's just the law. But if you're on a tube, if you're on a tube, an actual like a donut tube, you don't have to have a life jacket. Well,
because that's considered a flotation device in and of itself, isn't it? I suppose.
No, it's not. It's not a Coast Guard approved life jacket or anything. Okay. But and if it pops, you're back
trouble.
up the creek.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, that's interesting. But when you mentioned the tanking, I had to kind of chase that rabbit for a second because that has cracked me up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, the innovation of the country folk, I love it. And
and it's been a great moneymaker. I think. It's
more power to them. I think that's great.
Yeah. No.
So hey, you want to go tanking? But I just it actually made me go, wonder if we could do. Our creek is not really. People are always wanting to come out in our yard and put in right there in front of our house. I'm like, it's just not deep enough, y'all. You need to. You can walk down right there because we own some property right where Sulphur Fork and Cars Creek come together. We own some creek frontage right there.
So you'd have to. That's about when it starts getting deep enough. Is just right before you get to that junction there.
That's what I tell them. I say, you can. We've been trying to remove that gravel, but I mean, it just keeps piling up.
Oh yeah, it'll. And always be like that.
We've got a dredging permit there, and we've got a friend that comes out and pulls gravel out of it, but it just continues to pile and pile and pile right there where the two creeks come together. So, if you want to put in the creek, I mean, you're welcome to walk down the creek in front of our, right by our house, and then, put in where Sulphur Fork comes in. But that is the first place it's deep enough, and then it's a little bit down because you'll have a little bit of shallow, before you get to the deeper water. Because I've seen my children drive their 4-wheel drives down there.
Oh, yeah.
Because they'll drive down the creek and come down on like a little, rocky spot to fish, because you can easily navigate through there.
Oh, yeah.
So, and I mean, we have friends that come down there with their side-by-sides and do the same thing. So you can maneuver it with an all-terrain vehicle. So you can't very well float it if you can do that.
Yeah.
So, but nonetheless, right here at the end of summer, I wanted Kaleb to just come in and just kind of reiterate, he's the real police. If you break the law in the water, you will go to real jail.
Yeah.
And you can, the DUI laws apply if you're in a boat. Be sure and keep, yourself visible if you're going to do any kayaking, anything like that. Make sure people can see you. And the velvet hunt. So talk to me about the velvet hunt and what are the particulars, and then hunting season beyond that. So kind of block out the timeline, because the velvet hunt is really kind of the official kickoff, isn't it, of hunting season?
It is if you want to. It's hot, and it's normally hot, but so
how does it all structure out? And then let's recap what hunting season are coming up. So people, maybe you got some new hunters out there that are thinking, okay, this year I'm going to go and I'm going to harvest a turkey. I'm going to harvest a deer.
So it'll be a busy couple weeks right there, because you've got, all right. The velvet hunt will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's August 22nd, 23rd, and 24th.
Okay.
All right. So, and you're allowed to kill 2 bucks for your whole year of hunting, for deer hunting in Tennessee. So you can kill both your bucks on that weekend and be done for the year.
Okay.
If you kill 2 velvet bucks. With that being said, sometimes the velvet will already be coming off already. It may be hard-horned. That's still a legal buck. The buck doesn't have to have velvet on it at all. We call it the velvet hunt because I'd say 98% of the deer are still going to have all their velvet on.
Okay.
But if you see one that's hard-horned, you're allowed to kill it or harvest it. It's just no
does.
No does, correct. Okay. No special permits or anything for that. So, again, that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday, August 22nd, 23rd, 24th.
Now, if you go to harvest a deer during that time, are you still going to have the same problems that you talk about during the summer? If you were to harvest a deer, it's going to be full of ticks.
Yeah, normally
it's still going to be.
Even when you see them when they're mounted, I mean, they have no hair on them hardly. It's almost just bare skin because it's so hot. I mean, they don't need the fur, so there's no fur on them hardly. I mean, deer look like from a distance you see them and it's like, oh, they're still the same pretty deer, but when you get up to them, it's like, man, these things are nasty. Because, I mean, it's just like bare skin. It's almost no hair at all on them.
Really?
There's just that fur is not on them because they don't need it for the summertime.
Does it affect the meat?
No, but just aesthetically as humans, we look at it and we're like, there ain't no way.
Yeah, I got you.
But now that is a huge issue, though, because, it's bow only. So it's bow only for the velvet hunt.
Oh.
So, when you think about that, you harvest you harvest a buck with a bow, and you go to look for it, and it may take you 2 or 3 hours to find it. And that's no good. I mean, by that time the meat could be spoiled at that point.
Really? Okay. Huh. Okay. See, I don't know anything. I've never been a hunter, and I did not grow up in a hunting family. And so I know very, very, very little about any of it. And so My family keeps saying they're going to come and harvest deer and do turkeys and all that kind of thing, but so far they have not. But so we got the velvet hunt coming
and
up.
Also on that, that's private land only, not our wildlife management area. So the velvet hunt is private lands only.
So you'd have to
no
get
state-owned lands, right? Yeah. So you got to be on your property, your friend's property, just not public property.
How do people that hunt access the state land? I mean, do you have to get a permit to go into? How does that work? I'm kind of jumping the gun, but say we're in regular hunting season, and I want to hunt on state property. How do you facilitate that?
You just go out there and hunt. So it depends on the type of license you have. If you have the regular sportsman's license, that's all you need to go out there. But if you just have what we call a Type 1 or a gun and your normal hunting and fishing license and your gun permit or whatever, you would have to buy what's called a Type 94 permit, which is a WMA, Wildlife Management Area Big Game permit that allows you to go out there. It's like $30.
So, but I can't go to Travis Price and hunt.
No, that's owned by the city. Yeah.
Okay. So, but if it's what would be an example?
So here we have Cedar Hill Swamp.
Cedar Hill would be a place.
That's our wildlife management area.
So that would be the only publicly owned land you could hunt on here in Robertson County?
There or Shady Park Public Hunting Area in Orlando.
Okay.
But it's very small, like 60 acres.
Those are the two.
Here.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of people think, they see that the county owns some land. They're like, oh, I can hunt there. The county owns it, and I pay taxes, so I can hunt it. And that's not the case.
Okay.
Just like you can't go hunt at the state prison property. You can try, but you're going to go to jail.
Okay.
So,
don't do
but
it.
you think about that, like, well, the state owns the property. I can go hunt it, and we get a lot of that. And it's like, no, just because the state owns it doesn't mean you can hunt it. Like, it has to be open to hunting, and which all that's on our website. It's on the app.
So I didn't realize that because, I mean, I'm from Kentucky, and we got LBL, Land Between the Lakes, and all of those
and all
kinds
that's
of things.
federal land, yeah.
Yeah, and that's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
You have to apply to hunt at LBL.
Yep.
And
And again, that's all through the feds, not even us. That's all federal, U.S. Forest Service.
Okay, so there's a lot to it. So I didn't, honestly and truthfully, until you just said that, I didn't realize there were publicly owned lands you could hunt on. I thought you had to pretty much know somebody, that had acreage and find permission. I didn't know that there were public hunting.
The largest place to us, I mean, Cedar Hill Swamp's a few hundred acres.
Okay.
But, Cheatham Wildlife Management Area that we own, it's 22,000 acres. So, yeah, I mean, we have a lot of land that you can hunt on.
So can Robertson Countyans go hunt on Cheatham?
Oh, I mean, you can come from Canada and go hunt at Cheatham if you want to. I mean, you just got to have the right, applicable permits and make sure that
How many acres is it?
Cheatham's 22,000. But I mean, that's not our biggest one at all. That's just the one closest to us that's large.
Okay. I always learn something new with you, Kaleb. This is fascinating. Okay. So go through before
Yeah, I'll do a
quick
rundown.
Go through a quick rundown of the hunting seasons.
So we've got the velvet hunt, like I said, 22nd, 23rd, 24th. You have a week off, and then September 1st is the historical opening day of dove season. So dove season opens September 1st. This year it falls on a Monday, which is Labor Day.
Yeah.
Which is that's rare that it does that. So.
Will that make it busier or less busy?
No, it'll be a lot busier, because it's a holiday, so people can hunt. Yeah.
Okay.
So it opens at noon on Monday. That's not set by us. That's a federal thing. So dove season will open September 1st. That's a little over a week after the velvet hunt. So we got dove season, but also that morning is opening day of early goose season. So September 1st, people will get up at, early in the morning, go out to the lake, goose hunt, till 10, 11 o'clock, and then they'll go home and change clothes or whatever, or change shotguns and head to the dove field and dove hunt that day. So,
wow.
So September 1st, it's a really busy day for us.
You want to hear a crazy little piece of trivia?
Yeah.
I've hit a goose twice with my car. Twice. I'm just saying.
I've never heard of one hitting my car.
So I've twice I've done it. Once up going to school at Lowe's, or up, where I went to school, and then
what time of year was it? You remember? Was it summertime?
No clue.
Because like right now, kind of this time of year, they can't fly. So,
but my husband, he's like, you're the only person I've known that hit a goose, but not just one, but twice you've hit goose. Once when I was a teenager, and then once like in the last 10, 15 years. I can't remember the specifics. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Go ahead. I saw.
So then we got
share that.
Your dove season on September 1st, and then you got another week, and then the 13th is opening day of wood duck season, early wood duck season. So September 13th, wood duck season opens, and then we got another couple weeks, and then bow season for deer will open September 27th. So we'll have bow season for deer. That's when our deer season officially really kicks off because it's from September 27th through the 1st of January. You can deer hunt every single day, other than the juvenile hunt. So September 27th is opening day of bow season. The juvenile hunt will be October 25th and 26th this year. And the hunters that are listening, they'll know this is kind of weird. So October 25th and 26th, we have to take a week off right there. And then muzzleloader will open November 8th. And then gun season opens November 22nd. So.
Awesome. There we go, guys.
And then it'll run through, gun season runs through, like, I don't even know what date, probably January 4th, if I had to guess. But
I mean, and we'll be there before you know it. And also, you know, mixed in all that, we'll have the trout release.
Yeah, trout will be.
When will the first one of those kind of? Do you have a kind of a?
I don't think they released the schedule.
In December.
December. We normally do December, January, and like the end of February or 1st of March.
Okay, because I've already talked to
3 times.
My grandson. He loves fishing so much, and you and I talked about fishing's good in the winter, and because of he plays baseball now, and he travel baseballs and all the things, so we can't get him out here to fish. I said, babe, we can fish in the winter.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And we may have to just skip school one day and go fishing. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. I'm not going to do that. But
that's a legit excuse in my opinion.
You know, I'm a teacher.
It's
so
still a good excuse.
if I need to do that or not.
They'll learn more doing that than in the classroom maybe that day.
I don't know. Maybe. I'll come up with some kind of field trip and we'll go and cover it. Like video, but then I got to talk his mom and daddy into letting him skip school.
You can do teach a how-to fish video, so you can take your people out there.
I love the way you think, Caleb. We can totally do that.
Look, I'm all about getting out of the classroom and going to do.
Truly, and honestly, we do stuff like that, and that might be something we could do. You know, you've got my mind. You know, because it's a unique thing.
Call me. We'll make it happen. We can go out to your place right there, and you just do it right there.
We'll just do it right there. But could we catch trout out there?
No, not trout, but just any other fish would be out there.
Fish out there.
They're still going to catch them in the wintertime anyway.
Yeah.
One more thing real quick that's kind of been a big thing that's going on in the hunting world news lately is our, I told you a while back all of our licenses were changing.
Yes.
And they were, but the state legislature shot it all down. They didn't want us to up our prices. So,
okay.
Which I completely understand. With that being said, all of the licenses are staying the same. The prices are staying the same. There's no increase in prices or license structure. It's all the same. The state promised to give us money to help supplement our income because of that. It's just like with everything, the inflation's going up. Everything's going up, and our license prices have stayed the same. They don't increase each year.
Okay.
They just never do. It takes a lot to increase our license fees. So they don't ever go up. So we were having to go up because we've been operating in a deficit every year. We have other funds that allow us to keep operating, but we've been operating a deficit, and that's no way to run a business or even an agency. So we were trying to go up on our prices because that's the only way we get money is through hunting and fishing dollars. Right. So they're not going up. But we're going to be getting some money from the state. Hopefully, they've promised to give us some money to help supplement that.
Okay.
So we'll see how it goes.
All right, then. Well, and we'll see you in a few weeks, that will be the week of the Velvet Hunt, and just days away from Labor Day. So we'll kind of reiterate all this. But I just thought we needed to kind of touch base.
Absolutely good.
There's a lot going on. So thank you, brother.
Yep. All right.
Thank you so much.
See y'all later.
Stay cool out there, and we're going to let him make the switch as Catherine and Brian make their way in from United Way. Bring that up to Cherry, guys. And while y'all are doing that, I'm going to pause and talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Y'all know what I'm up to. Love talking about my friends. They are our longest running full-time sponsors here at 1 Street Over. Let's just throw a number out real quick. Well, if I can get it to pop up here. Barry and Rebecca Richards, you can give Rebecca a call at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425 if you need any help in any regard, in any way in real estate, whether it be you want to be a realtor, you want somebody to mentor you into the real estate game. They are the perfect team to do that. I've actually sent students to them. I sent my friend from Ukraine that was a realtor in Ukraine, and she was able to connect with them. And they connected her with another person who had immigrated from Ukraine that's in real estate out in her area. So because of the Exit team, they have access to a lot of different avenues and a lot of different opportunities. They have been with Exit from the very get-go. Rebecca talks a lot about when she made the decision a long time ago. She's been at this a long time. After her kids went to school and she was entering back into the workforce, she decided she'd been in radiology and decided to take a complete different turn with her career and wanted to go full-time into real estate. She'd been working part-time, and she said, I wanted a company that had everything I needed to be successful. And she says that was Exit. All those years ago, they were with the Garden Gate team for many years. Then they started their own branch in the tree, Exit Prime Realty, and that's where you'll find them now. Barry is a broker here in Springfield, has an office in Springfield. Rebecca's office is in White House, but she's an agent. And again, together they make up Exit Prime Realty. Specializing in Robertson County properties because they are cross-Planians. Got here about the same time I did to good old Robertson County about 30 years ago, and they have got a real diverse background. So while they specialize in Robertson County properties, they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky because also, like myself, they're originally from Kentucky. And so they understand the nuances of maybe living in a state that has an income tax and working in one that doesn't have a state income tax. Reach out to Barry and Rebecca Richards today. He's got that marketing background as well. If it's something that you're wanting to see, if you can maybe put on the market and see how it's going to sell, it will not be presented any better than what Barry can do with all that marketing expertise, from videography to photography to drone footage, walkthrough tours. They got you covered. Follow them on social media for all their updates, open houses. I know Rebecca had an open house this weekend. You could follow her on social media, and she just, basically covers, what's going on through the day. But stay in touch with them. Again, Barry and Rebecca Richards, Exit Prime Realty, sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy, B-U-Y, robertsoncounty.com, and let them know U-Turn sent you. Oh, my goodness. Every time I click this thing, I get more. I've got like voices in the back. I'm going to have to just quit using my bumper music and all that, because there's like another one of my recorded ads is coming up in the back, and I'm like,
you got a new setup since we've been in here.
Really?
It's slimmed down.
Yeah.
I've been a minute.
For yourself.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I was
okay.
going to say, I think Catherine's
She's been,
Has it been that long?
They've had me on the road, man. I've been moving. Yes.
So
between summer kids stuff and then just work stuff, I haven't been a lot of Thursday mornings around.
I'm so impressed you're both in here this last week.
I know. Well, we were just talking about it. We're kind of forcing ourselves to get back in the flow of everything here too.
I know.
Mornings have been. I have no problem getting up early, but it's been my little morning quiet time I get before the chaos of summer hits and work and running kids and all that. So that's like my 1 hour I get a day of before everything goes nuts.
Well, it's like I'll get up starting Monday at 4 a.m.
4 a.m.
Yeah. I'm an early bird.
Yeah.
So I just I like getting up early. I don't like rushing out the door.
Right.
And so I can get up early, and it just makes all the difference.
Did you do morning drive time as well? Okay. I was never really up that early, probably back in the day. So I heard you in the afternoons a lot, I remember.
I did split shift.
Yeah.
And, but yeah, I'd get up and do morning traffic, and then I'd be off during the day, which was great because my kiddos, I got to hang with them, and so it was just a perfect world.
Yeah.
And I'd have to, I would come flying in on two wheels to do afternoon traffic, though. I'll just tell you.
What time did you have to be there in the afternoon to do what you had to do?
Pretty much 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I couldn't. It's crazy town. I mean, maybe 3:30. I can't remember. I guess we probably started afternoon traffic first report at 4, straight up 4.
Where was your studio at back then?
House.
You did it back then? Okay. All right.
My house.
Yeah. So I didn't know if they could set it up like that then. I always assumed y'all were in a studio somewhere, but you could actually do it remotely from your house.
Early on, I was in a studio in Nashville, and I would just stay there all day.
Yeah.
I was working. I would get there, crack of dawn, and then not leave until 7 o'clock at night.
Right.
And so, that was before I had kids and all that.
Yeah.
So when I found out I was expecting twins, I told my boss, I said, I'm going to go and just do the books for my husband. I said, I'll see how I can make this work,
Right.
And he's like, we can set this up at your house. And I'm like, what?
You were the original remote worker back in the day. Yeah, you were ahead of time.
Jim was the first.
Okay.
Traffic Jim with KDF.
I'm saying, but that
Catherine's
goes.
going, I don't know what y'all are talking about.
Yeah.
But Traffic Jim with KDF, he was a polio survivor, and so was in wheelchair bound. And so while he did a lot in studio, because he drove himself around, he was an awesome dude. he had a home set up probably before I did.
Okay, so he was the first.
Yeah.
Yeah, the original work from home.
So I think so. And I'm just sure
Yeah.
he was.
Yeah.
But, and then Richard Thomas used to just go all over. He was sometimes in a plane. I mean, he was not very rarely in a studio. So.
You got me home. I had a commute from Murfreesboro to Brentwood and back. It was my first real job out of college. You got me home many afternoons because I would wait. I'd wait there because it was pointless because there was about 4 different ways you could get back. And there's no kids. There was no ways. There was nothing on your phone.
We
you
didn't
just
have any
you
kind
had
of
to just
GPS,
you had you turn LaVern on the radio to tell you how to get home, and it was like 24 is a mess. Do not go that way. So you would avoid that, and it wouldn't give you maybe the best way home, but you could avoid the worst thing usually. Like if there was a major accident or construction or whatever, you could get away for that. But yeah.
One of my co-teachers. We'll get to business here in a second.
We already catch up on it.
I'm enjoying listening to it. My husband used to listen to you. That's it. So.
Oh yeah,
that's funny.
Your husband is originally from
here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's funny. That's so funny because I had one of my co-teachers, Mr. Bennett, the other day. He did not realize I was U-Turn LaVern, and he grew up here. And he sends me a video the other day, and some kind of historic Nashville that he found, and he was like, "That's you." It was the tornado coverage. And somebody was they were videotaping in their car. It's when the first tornado came through Nashville. And I'm talking about the different closures and stuff on the radio in the car. And it cracks me up.
I can hear you in the background while he's filming
hear me
the
in the
stuff.
background. And he's like, that's you. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I treasure this piece of footage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for sending this to me.
Yeah.
Because I don't have a lot of my stuff. Because we
Right.
didn't keep, I'm sure there's audio recordings and things out there, but not like we have it today.
Everything has been captured now, and it's on the cloud, and all these videos and social media posts, and you got everything now. So
It's crazy.
Yep.
It's crazy,
Yep.
y'all. But anyway, all right. We hadn't talked.
We hadn't talked in a minute.
Brian and I get together.
I was
man,
interviewing LaVern for a bit.
he and I could sit here and talk. Probably, I don't know, a couple hours.
Easy.
Just,
Easy.
Just local stuff and all that kind of thing. But we need to talk back to school.
We do.
United Way and
Yes.
all the things.
Yes.
So where do y'all want to start? Because it's
Catherine, do you wanna
just
start?
such a busy time right now.
You want to start with stuff the bus?
So we stuff the bus. We have that every year in July. I started talking about it on here in May. Nobody wanted to hear me say that, and none of our. It's funny. A lot of our companies were slow to respond until after everybody wants to get their little vacation in and do all that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we are going to have to go back to school at some point." And so we just want to thank all of the volunteers, all of our corporate sponsors. It takes a huge effort. There's our partnership with Hands On to do all the logistics, and that's their world. They're experts as far as like the actual putting everything together, and the volunteers we had at Nissan Stadium. All of our folks at the schools who we work with to make sure the backpacks are distributed. All these events that we attended this past weekend to distribute the backpacks. So it's just a huge undertaking. It's grown every year. I think this year we ended up with 15,000 over a 9-county area, which is a lot of backpacks, a lot of supplies for kids. Not to mention all the supplies and odds and ends stuff that we distribute. And so just thankful for everybody doing that. We like I said, we had a lot of events this week. We were kind of spread out. I don't think we were able to get to every single one that we wanted to get to, just because it seems like everybody had theirs. This past Saturday was every back to school event for some reason. I guess because we're right up against it. But was great to get out and see people, see the kids, and work with them. And so we work with Jenny Dusky and her folks at the Family Resource Center here in Robertson County, and we distributed those directly to them. And so they will make sure to get those in the hands of the kiddos that need them the most, because they work with them daily. And so just thankful for that partnership. And it's a fun couple weeks of stuff that we do. I got to be a delivery driver again this year. I thought my days as a U-Haul driver were retired. They told me you're gonna have to do it, and I get a call Tuesday. It's like, hey, UPS is having some issues, so can you get a truck again? So was able to do that and just get out and see folks. And it's good just to see everybody pulling together, because that's an easy one. You don't want to send kids to school on the first day. That feeling of not having your stuff, I can't even imagine. Thankfully I was blessed, and my parents were able to get me some stuff when we started school. But that feeling of having your backpack full,
Yeah.
having all your new folders and your pencils and all that stuff, even though you're going to probably not want to be at school day 2, but that first day, you want to have everything ready, and it's important for their education and for them to feel good about themselves when they go in. That's really important. And so that's what it's about. And just really, really grateful. So we're another successful year. And I'm happy not to be unloading any boxes for a minute, because that's a lot of backpacks.
Well, and I'll tell you, I mean, just, we'll get done with that and we'll get into our Thanksgiving push and all that kind of thing. And that'll be just before you know it. So
we're changing that up. So a little something to come on that. So we've kind of listened to our partner agencies, and they have told us their needs.
Oh,
and
okay.
Every year they get inundated around the holidays, just in November, December. And then January, February, it's nothing. Crickets, and then the supplies dry up and everything. And so we're pivoting a little bit to try to meet some of those needs that they have after the new year.
I didn't want you to miss out on carrying boxes,
I'm going to get to carry boxes either way,
okay.
right? That's never going to go away. So,
Okay.
If you work at a nonprofit, you're going to get to carry boxes. If you work at church, you get used to putting up chairs and tables. So that's just the way it goes.
Yes. That's funny.
Catherine, did I miss anything? I was trying to just give a brief overview of everything.
Yeah, I think you kind of covered everything. We were at the backpack giveaway in Cheatham County, and that was really, really great turnout. And it's just to see the excitement on the kids' faces and being able to pick out their folders and pick out the different items for their backpack and the different things that they need. It's really nice to be able to be a part of that.
Well, and we had Dr. Weeks was in with Miss Dickerson and Miss Williams here at Roberts County Schools on Tuesday, and that was the one thing we just kept reiterating. Do not feel like that there's not a place for you to get your supplies. I mean, you just got to let people know what you need because they're there.
They are.
I mean, the community turns out, and if you missed out on some of the backpack giveaways, reach out to Family Resource Center.
They are
amazing. They will connect you with everything you need. You can ask your teacher, but if you don't want to go there and you want to be prepared reach out to the Family Resource Center, and they'll make sure that you've got everything covered.
I'm glad you brought that up because that's a lot of what we deal with when we go do campaigns, and people think it's all about raising money, which it is the backbone of what we do. I mean, we are a fundraising organization, have been for over 100 years here in Middle Tennessee, but the education piece of it, to the resources in the area. To me, if I go in and we raise $1, that's great. But if I've educated some of their employees on resources that may be available to them or people they know in their life, their family members, that is just as important, because a lot of people don't know. They're like, well, we don't have any options. What are we going to do about this? We're going to do that. If there are resources available. There are people that work very hard every day to make sure that especially our young people are covered. And so, you have to seek out just a little bit sometimes, but they are here, and we have some amazing people in this county that get up every morning and go to work so that kids will have what they need, whether it be food, whether it be school supplies, whatever it is, so that they're able to get their education, and maybe we can start breaking the cycle of some of these, the cycle of poverty that face a lot of us, and so that's the goal there, is to give these kids a chance at a better life, and they work really hard, and I promise you they're happy when they get those calls because they want to help. That's why they do what they do. So don't feel bad about it. We've all been in spots where things are a little tough, and things are expensive right now. I mean, I went and bought just some basic stuff for my kids the other day. I was blown away how expensive just basic school supplies were. And I haven't been in school in a long time, obviously, but I have kids in school. It's incredible how expensive stuff is. So we get it. If you're looking at that, excuse me, or groceries, that's a tough one there. I understand.
It really is. And I think you've mentioned that before when you go in and do these funding campaigns where people start looking at United Way and they're like, well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And what, Catherine, would be a way for you to resource all these connections? Do we have like a special line or a special number?
If we had something maybe called 211, that would be maybe.
There you go. I love the 211 number. I give that to my students. Yeah. I give that to people at church when we have people. I mean, and that's something that it doesn't matter. Is that something? I shouldn't say it doesn't matter. Is that just a Middle Tennessee thing? Is that just something that's within your?
No, they cover. I shouldn't.
Like, could I be in Maine and
it's like 49 counties or something in Tennessee.
Okay.
They cover a vast.
So is it just a Tennessee thing?
No, I believe 211 is
Yeah, it's larger than I don't know the exact scope of it.
Yeah.
I know it covers.
It's
You know,
all over.
more than half of Tennessee is our network. And
Yeah.
it used to be managed out of a call center in Florida. Now it's changed. Yeah.
Yeah,
'cause
now
you-
it's managed out of Chattanooga.
Yeah.
Because pretty much if you call, just like
it's a nationwide service.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
thought
I
it was.
figured.
I didn't know.
I figured
I didn't
it
want to speak
was.
and say it was in every state, but I thought
Yeah.
it covered most of the country.
But I
so,
figured
yeah.
it did. So it's
Yeah.
one of those things you could give to anybody and say, if you get somewhere
Right.
and you need resources, you call 211 and you're going to find out about the resources in the area where you landed. So that way you
And
can.
it's localized to where you're at too. So that's the thing. We deal with some companies that are front facing. One of them I'm going to use an example is the Quick Trip stores that we do. They do a campaign with us, and so we
Okay.
go in and talk to their employees. They're dealing with people that may be on the street. I mean, they're a convenience store. They're right there on the,
Right.
you know what I mean? So they
Yep.
get every walk of life come through there. And so I always make sure to hammer the 211 stuff. I say, if you got people come in and,
Yeah.
you know, their cars, like anything could have happened, you're going to see every facet of it being what you do. And they're open 24 hours. So you're going to see it all the time. This is the service right here. And so I always try to make sure to hammer that home. And we have several of our corporate partners that are front facing with society and have people just walk in off the street. And so it's an invaluable resource. And the more information we can get as far as folks coming in and the partners we work with to make
Yeah.
sure that information is correct, the better the service can be.
Very good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just, it's kind of like we talk a lot. You need one of my little.
I'm struggling,
You're
man.
struggling there, brother.
It's been a
So-
minute since I've done this.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm just
Thank
saying. I'm just sitting here listening to him, and I'm like, oh, got them allergies kicking.
150 degrees outside.
Yeah, I
I
know.
was standing over. We had a cookout at our church last night for like a back to school deal.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm Tab, the grill man, and so I'm still recovering a little bit from the meltdown I had out
I
there.
love
So,
it. You're the
yeah.
grill man.
I
you need one
inhaled.
too?
No, I'm
I inhaled a lot of smoke last night too.
Oh, that's
so
great.
grilling. Yeah, but I'm
Out
good.
there.
I'm good.
Out
Thank
there.
you, ma'am.
You're very welcome.
Yeah.
You're very welcome. We're talking with Brian Pulley and Catherine. What is your last name? I always
Stewart.
forget. Stewart. I always forget that. I just haven't had it in my head long enough. With United Way and all things United Way, we bring them in once a week because they've just got so much going on. So we've got the back to school is the thing right now. We'll be back to school next week. What's next for you guys? I mean, what about the tutoring stuff? Now, this is something I mentioned to
Raise your hand.
Miss Williams on Tuesday because she is in charge of curriculum for from pre-K to middle school.
Yeah.
And we talked about how vital it is to tutor these kids, and we need help with raise your hand, and that's still a push, correct?
That is still push. We have
Okay.
Dr. K has moved on in some capacity because she is going to be conquering the world basically because
Yeah,
she's amazing.
she's a firecracker.
Yeah,
We love
she
her.
is. So we knew that was going to be short term, but what the foundation she built here in Robertson County in with Raise Your Hand is incredible. I think we're up to 13 schools. Is that right?
Yeah, it's no 11.
11. Sorry, I was giving a look.
Okay.
So start out nothing. 11 schools, and they're continuing to build. We always need volunteers for it. It is a crucial thing, and as we all know, there's been some cuts here and there on different things, and so the needs for volunteers and people that are willing to step up for our kids is probably going to be even more important. Real quick, I want to give a shout out to, I met with Dr. Causey, our former director. He still listens to your show, by the way. He's out in Clarksville. He told me this. He said, I listen to it when y'all are on, talking about us. He's put me on a little bit. But shout out to Dr. Causey, did a
Hey,
great
Dr.
job. So
Causey.
yeah, he was
We
good.
love you, brother.
He was a good one, and he was a big part of getting this program
Yeah.
going. And so that's why I bring that up. But yeah, it's so if you want more information on that, feel free to call. You can call me 615-780-2401, 615-780-2401. We'll get you going. We do have a new person right here for Robertson County. I believe they've been on maternity leave. I'm not sure if she's back.
I met with her the other day at
Okay.
work and just kind of caught up and talked about Robertson County and all the things that.
We're going to bring
You
her
gotta
in.
stay right on that mic.
Sorry.
That volume on that mic is not awesome, and so boy, if you're not right on top of it, I'm not getting a very good
Yes.
level on you, Catherine. I'm sorry.
Yeah, she is back from maternity leave, and we met maybe 2 weeks ago at this point, and talked about Robertson County and all the things that are going on, and yeah, so
We'll have her in here to really go. We'll have a Raise Your Hand Day here
Okay.
soon. Yeah, let her get her feet under her, and their program is amazing. It's expanding, and it's just something. If you want to get involved, and help. I've said I'm gonna beat the table here again a little bit, and you say, "Hey, what's wrong with these young people these days?" Blah blah blah.
Nothing's wrong with
Nothing's wrong with them. They're just
need
like
some
us.
love.
They just like us. I promise you.
Yeah.
But you just need to. They need some maybe some help at that stage too. You know, to get their feet under them a little bit. And it's not just a tutoring program. You get a chance to talk to them, so you can help them with maybe a little life skill stuff while you're talking. It doesn't have to be all school stuff. I may be speaking out of turn on that, but if you get a chance to talk to a young person. I coach basketball, okay? It's not always basketball. It is so much more than that. You get a chance to talk to them. They're having bad days, whatever. You get a chance to be a positive influence in their life, basically, and help guide them and maybe impart a little wisdom that you've dealt with in your life. So,
You better believe
there's
it.
a good opportunity there. Yeah.
I have so many conversations. The kiddos, when we were at open house on Tuesday night, just these kids that I've got great relationships with, and you know about their life, it's beautiful. And when you're getting involved in the life of these kids, and some of them just don't have anyone, and they need, and it's not that they don't have parents, it's just their parents are just doing everything they can, trying to keep a roof over their head and food on the table. And so they just don't have anyone that they can really talk to about what's going on. And so the way you can influence a kid and help tutor and all the things, and this push about this testing for third graders is just such a big thing and such a pressure on these kids. I've got my oldest grandson is entering third grade. And he's brilliant and does great on tests. There's no reason for him to be anxious about this. Yet he is.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yet he is.
My daughter was last year. Well, now she's going to 4th grade this year. But
Yeah.
I remember the testing and the reading and the whole. It's like
Yeah.
just relax, and just do the best that you can, and you got this.
You got this. And I think it was it may have been the conversations we were having on Tuesday with our admin from Robertson County that maybe it was Miss Dickerson that said this, said that it's just your responsibility to come in and do your best. It's our responsibility to make sure you have what you need, and we're going to make sure you have what you need. And so, and tutoring is a part of that. Ms. Williams was saying that, where tutoring was available and the different opportunities and all those things, and how vital it was. But man, we want in the school systems, we want your kids to succeed. And, you guys help so much with so many different ways to make sure that happens. What else are we missing? I'm just looking at the time.
She's got
one
something.
more.
Yeah,
I've
go
got
for
one
it,
more.
Catherine. Go for it.
We've got Recovery Fest coming up.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. I get to host that this year. I'm so
You're
excited.
the host?
Yeah.
Hostess with the mostest.
Look at that.
Well, I'm on the
we will
recovery
be
court
there.
board. I'm on the board.
Yeah, okay.
And so, even though I haven't been to a meeting in a while,
Right,
because I've been
I'm
out
on
of
planning committee. I'm
well,
not seen
well,
you.
but the reason I've been out of
been
town, it seems
everywhere.
like I've been just gone. When
Yeah.
they had a meeting the other day, and I'm like, I'm not there, y'all.
You know
I'm
we
sorry.
can't find
Yeah,
teachers at the summer. Y'all get out of here, man.
Oh, it'd been crazy.
Yeah.
But
Well,
yes,
tell me
I'll
about
be
it. I
there.
don't know about it. I just learned about it. So tell
Go
me
for
about
it. Go, Catherine.
August 9th from 5 to 9 p.m. and it's going to be at the fairgrounds. And there's going to be tons of different vendors and speakers, food, family-friendly events. We've got some great sponsors for the kids area this year. Gateway is going to be one of our sponsors, which I'm
Awesome.
super excited about. And then I believe the Roberts County Family YMCA is going to be as well. And basically just bringing agencies together and statewide recovery communities to celebrate and share insights, education, personal healing experiences from recovery from substance abuse, mental health, and just connecting people with different resources. We'll be there. We'll have a table. There's a ton of different vendors, and just an opportunity to get out and network and see what resources we have in the area.
Are we still going to have the dunk tank? Do you know? Are we
don't
dunking the
know
judge
about-
this year? Because I mean
That's a
I've
great
been.
idea.
Well, but that's what we did last year.
Yeah.
Is Judge Perry and those folks that had been through recovery court? Oh my goodness, they lined up to dunk Judge Joel Perry, and it was so funny. But I ran the dunk tank last year. That was my job, and so it was quite funny. And so I'm curious, and I've missed the planning meetings. The girls are going to get me, but yeah, it's a great event. We had the first one last year. It was a roaring success, and we're super excited this year for number 2. And we saw very quickly we need to have it a little bit later in the day because it was super hot last year. And
it. August hot here in Tennessee.
especially when it's
Tennessee.
in the heat of the day.
Yeah.
For sure. But so I'm really excited it's going to be in the evening. It's going to make it a lot nicer.
That you're the
MC. Yeah,
that's cool.
yeah.
I
They
had a
asked me.
quick question. So if you were someone that was newly in recovery or was even considering it and would this be a good, like to get, this
Absolutely.
is where you want to come?
This is because you're going to find out about centers. You're going to find about
Yes.
we've got a wonderful, beautiful list of resources here just in Robertson County, but not just in Robertson County, even beyond. Sometimes for somebody to be successful in recovery, they need to step out of their space.
Yes.
And they need to maybe not be in Robertson County.
Right.
And you'll find out about things that are available beyond and all of those. And just like Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center will be there, because so many people in recovery have grown up in families of addiction. Judge Perry will talk about, and I'll get some of these folks in next week and we'll talk to them. I've got several calls I got to make, but we're going to talk a lot about Recovery Fest next week. But Judge Perry will tell you that one of the hardest things for him on the bench is to see the kid of an addict, like where he had their grandparents and then their parents and then them. It multi-generational he'll have.
Yeah.
And so what happens is you've got somebody that's trying to recover and they've got kids and they want to keep custody, but they don't know how to parent because they were never really parented and never taught to parent.
Right.
And so that's where Open Door can step in and help them learn parenting skills to where once they get through the recovery process, they can have their kids on the other side of it. I have friends that have gone through this that are with their kids now, that I've known them when they were in recovery, and I'm seeing them now, and it's just a beautiful thing.
That is.
And I know their kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And to be able to watch that transformation is just so stinking cool. So
It's like give them a second life.
really is.
Legit.
And
brand new life.
If you've never been involved in the recovery community, I can say come to Recovery Fest, find out about the recovery court graduations and those kinds of things, because we'll have one of those coming up this fall, and an opportunity to come and celebrate these folks that have done the work and they've gotten through and they're graduating through recovery court. And you're also going to have an opportunity to see those that didn't make it and realize it's anybody and everybody you can imagine.
Yep. Does not discriminate.
It's a fight. It's
No,
a fight.
no.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Yep.
And but yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. I didn't know you were on the planning committee. I guess I need to get to my meetings.
Yeah.
But I'm usually pretty good about my recovery court meetings, but it's just the last couple of months, man, it's been
Yeah.
a little too
Summertime.
a little crazy. Anything else we're missing, guys? We're about done.
I think that's it. We'll be going full bore campaign stuff coming up. We'll be talking about that, and we'll get the raise your hand folks in here, and just keep running. So we're doing our thing. Yeah, glad to be back.
Back at it, y'all. Let's go. One street over, back in. Since we've had y'all in, we can say we're just back at it. Tomorrow we'll be back with Faith Friday. Of course, Lisa Fort's going to be in, talk about Redeem Her Now. And again, next week we're going to talk a lot about Recovery Court, Recovery Fest, and all the things. And just keep going and back to school, y'all. Let's go. This is 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a fabulous day.